Hello, Mary. How are you today?
Hi, I'm fine. It's wonderful to see you.
Say hello to the group.
Hello. Hi. Um, I've missed seeing you, my people in Delta Kappa Gamma, and so I'll just say hi to you today.
Okay, thank you for agreeing to interview with us, and I'd like to ask you these questions.
All right.
Where did you go to college?
I went to college at Pomona College in Claremont, and that was it.
Okay. And what did you major in?
I majored in history.
Oh, and you taught?
And I taught for, I forget how many years, it was quite a few years.
Okay, so what were your positions in your career, like teaching? Where did you teach?
Oh, I taught in Beaumont and Banning and in Hemet here. And actually, I taught 1 year in Ontario.
Oh, what levels?
So I had a fifth grade when I taught in
Ontario?
Banning.
In Banning?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And, well, that was in Ontario. And then I had a sixth grade when I taught in Banning.
Did you teach in Hemet too?
And yes, well, I taught many years in Hemet. I taught kindergarten.
Right.
I never thought I would teach kindergarten, but our assistant superintendent at the time, he needed somebody to teach where I ended up teaching. I never thought I would teach kindergarten, but anyway, I love kindergarten.
Oh, good. Yeah, I bet you were great. Okay, so describe a career highlight, like awards, favorite memory. A highlight.
A career
Highlight.
highlight, well, maybe it was Nancy Newman and I went back and forth to work on our master's degree.
Oh,
And that's where I really got to know Nancy. And of course, she was involved in Delta Kappa Gamma. And she was the one that really got me involved in Delta Kappa Gamma. And so, anyway, we worked on our master's degree together,
oh, that's great.
driving back and forth over to San Bernardino Valley College.
Oh, what a friendship.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get any awards
Any awards for teaching?
for anything?
Oh, I was teacher of the year one time.
Oh,
That was kind of fun.
yeah.
Yeah. But
What an honor.
we kind of, I guess we all took turns at Whittier School. You know, nobody was teacher of the year more than once.
So a favorite memory?
A favorite memory. Oh, and teaching.
Right.
Oh, my goodness. I think some of our meetings, I think, in Delta Kappa Gamma, you know, our annual meeting, when we went different places, we used to meet in Riverside before we started meeting down in the desert.
Mhm.
But we met in Riverside at where was the
Mission Inn?
at the Mission Inn? Yes. Oh, we had several meetings at the Mission
Oh,
Inn,
how nice.
and that was really nice.
Right.
So I miss going over to the Mission Inn,
Oh, it's still a good place.
but it was really a nice place to hold our meetings.
Right, right. So why did you join DKG?
Well, I guess I joined DKG because I guess it was because of Nancy Newman. She said that was a good group.
Yeah.
And I got to know a lot of the teachers and the principals. We had several principals involved in our group in Beaumont and Banning. And we had nice meetings up there. And then pretty soon, then I started meeting teachers from Hemet. And so actually, by the time we ended up moving to Hemet, I already knew some of the teachers down here.
Oh, good.
So that was nice.
Yeah. So share a favorite DKG memory.
Favorite memory. I think maybe it was when we had the national DKG meeting in Los Angeles
Oh, yes.
one time, and a group of us went. We were just we were there for one day, but it was interesting. It was kind of exciting, you know, to see ladies from all over the country meeting in Los Angeles. So that was a highlight.
Oh, great. Great. Okay, well, thank you very much, Mary.
Well, it's a long story. I've been here for almost 93 years, so that's a long time. I was born in Kentucky. I grew up on a farm. We were 11, when I was 11, we moved to Warren County, which is near Bowling Green, which is where I graduated from Western Kentucky University years later. And it was on a dairy farm, and my dad was hired to run the dairy, and so I was the helper. And so we lived there, and then later I went to a Christian college, junior college, and then at 20 I started teaching school, and then that's what I did for a living. So then I came to California, and that's part of the story, so you'll hear that later. Well, I came to California when I was 24 because I'd wanted to see the world, and I put in an application to, it was a teacher's magazine. They had a little card in. I put it in this organization, and I got a call. I thought I'd go to Arizona because I'd seen Arizona highways. I thought it was so beautiful. I wanted to go there. I got 2 offers in California. The first one I turned down. And the second one, this guy, Dr. Leo B. Hart, insisted that I come. And he called me 2 or 3 times, and I said, well, my dad is ill. He said, will he get better if you stay there? And I said, no. And so he said, I want you out here. It was a God thing, you know. Paul's mother was on the steps of First Baptist Church in Bowling Green, same time I was, and she said, I hear you're coming to California. You'll have to spend your long holidays with us. So I came down Christmas and left engaged to Paul. His folks lived a couple of miles from where I did, his grandmother and grandfather. The acquaintance time that we got to know each other was here at their house in San Jacinto. So we got married that June, and the rest is history.
Hi, Claire.
Hi, Jackie.
Say hello to our Gamma Theta sisters.
Hello, Gamma Theta sisters.
Okay, we'll start. Where did you go to college?
I went to Occidental College. It's in Los Angeles between Pasadena and Glendale. Famous for Barack Obama's attendance there for a couple of years.
What were your positions in your career?
I taught first grade at Whittier for a long time. That was my last one. I started teaching second grade at Ramona Elementary in Hemet.
In Hemet. The whole time?
The whole time, yes.
Ah.
That's the only place I've worked.
Claire, describe a career highlight awards or favorite memory?
I was teacher of the year at Whittier Elementary, and my favorite memory is just teaching first grade. I loved it because the children, you could see them just learning to read. It's like a light bulb going on as they learn, and it happens. You can see it happening, and that's just really special.
Any favorite memory besides that?
Well, that is my favorite memory because first grade is my favorite grade. That's my favorite memory in first grade.
Okay. Why did you join DKG?
Well, I was working in we had a first grade situation where there were 4 teachers, and Nancy Newman was my neighbor, and she was a member, and several other teachers at Whittier were members. And so Nancy asked me to come and join. So I came and joined and enjoyed it.
Please share a favorite DKG memory.
Yeah, my favorite part was books for teen moms. I was always in charge of that, and I would go to Cameron Books in Hemet. He'd give us a discount, and we'd select some books that would be appropriate, the board books that the little children can use. And then we would buy them and take them over to the Teen Parents Program. And I always had, everybody wanted to go with me because it was so much fun to go over and see the the teen parents accept the books, and sometimes we could see them start reading to the children. And that was a special memory. It was really a part of DKG that I enjoyed very much.
Great. Well, thank you, Claire.
You're welcome.
Hello, all my AKG friends. I'm glad to say hello to you this morning. How are you doing?
Okay. We would like to have some memories that you have and your teaching experience. So I'm going to start out with, where did you go to college?
I went to UCLA, and then I got my master's at Riverside. And I taught school overseas in Germany and Italy, and loved it. And I'm ready to answer any questions you have.
Okay.
I may not answer them truthfully, but I will answer them.
Okay. So you're already setting a possibility of embellishing?
Well,
I'm joking. When you were teaching, did you have any positions while you were teaching?
positions?
A mentor or
I,
HTA membership?
no, I spent my time teaching
Okay. What grades did you teach?
primary grades.
Did you have a favorite?
Third.
Third grade? Okay.
By that time they can blow their own noses, but they still like you.
You taught at Hemet L. Did you teach at any other Hemet school?
When I first came here, I was at Little Lake for just half of a year to finish out the year, and then I moved to Hemet L.
And that's where you stayed?
That's where I stayed.
Okay. Any idea how many years that was?
More than I can count.
Is there a highlight from your teaching experience?
Highlight of my teaching is
Yeah. Did you have a favorite memory or an experience, good or bad, while you were teaching?
You didn't give me that to think about. It was the people I taught with that were the highlight. And it was fun teaching then. And we got together and had fun teaching. And now you don't have fun teaching anymore.
Yeah.
We get out and have softball games and dodgeball games
And Halloween parades.
and Halloween parades.
And the
Had the
Halloween.
mothers come and help us.
Why did you join DKG?
To support the teachers
Okay.
and to get together and talk about how we could do things better and what we were doing and help each other.
A lot of sharing. Yep. Is there a favorite memory when you belonged to DKG? Well, you still belong.
Just the people I was with.
Did you hold an office in DKG?
No,
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I can't remember all the things I did.
Lots of committee work. I know she did.
Went flying.
Who did you fly with?
What?
Who did you fly with? Mary
Yeah.
and Claire
And Mary Ann Schellberger.
and Schellenberger.
Yes.
Wow, those are some. That'd be a fun thing to do. Yup. Okay.
You want to introduce yourself for those new people that have not met you?
I am Janet Elaine Lyons Gall, and I was born in Long Beach, California, August 14th, 1928. I am 95 and a half years old, and I still write and on the computer and play the piano with one finger for church.
And where are you living right now, Janet?
I am living in Eastern Star.
In Decorah, Iowa, right?
Yes,
A long ways from California. So where did you go to college?
I went to the University of Redlands in Redlands, California. I went there 4 years and managed to graduate with a certificate in teaching.
How many positions did you have in your career and where were they?
I taught in Lacey, Washington. I taught in Pomona, California. I taught in Hemet, California.
Can you describe a career highlight you had from your teaching? Any awards or any favorite memories?
Joining DKG was the highlight of my award, and I got 2 awards in reading, and I taught for 20 years in Hemet, California.
What grade level did you teach while you were teaching in him?
I taught morning kindergarten 1 year, and the rest of the time I taught first grade at Hemet.
I know one of the highlights,
It was Ramona's school.
that's right. I remember one of the highlights there was always your musicals that you would put on.
Yes, was that.
So how did you get involved with DKG? Why did you join?
Betty Ayers, the teacher that taught next to me, was a member, and she felt I was right for joining, so I did.
Do you have a favorite memory of your time participating with DKG?
We used to have parties with the a branch of DKG, and I would play a duet with one of the members.
Is there anything else you want to say to all the people who are watching the video today?
Well, another highlight was split session, and Mr. Doolittle instigated it, and it gave you more time with students because they would come and at the same time, but only half of them, and then the other half would come an hour later.
So this is when you were teaching, and this was kind of an innovative thing that your principal did, right?
Well, he suggested it, and we had to try it out.
And how did you think that helped your students?
Well, it gave them more time with the teacher. Because 32 kids are a lot.
Good evening, ladies of DKG. I'm so happy to be able to share my story of my career, and I guess I'm one of the oldest members along this group, along with Nancy. Well, I knew Nancy Newman very well, but it was Mary Reed and Claire Doolittle that were my student teachers. Master teachers, that's what they call them, yes. And so,
So where did you begin your college career?
well, I began at Long Beach City College because they had the Child Study Center there. And my son had some special needs. We didn't know what, but he was extremely active. And so my neighbor said, I'm going over there to, and you should go too, or you're never going to make it with this kid. So I I decided, well, I've got 3 kids. I don't know if I want to go to school. She kept insisting, and she said, I'll help you register and all that. So I did complete then the program for teaching preschool and received an AA. But I also realized that I wouldn't want to teach the little ones the rest of my life, so I had to get a credential for teaching in elementary, at least K-8. So I pursued that next with Cal State in Long Beach. And then I moved to Hemet, so I had to transfer to Cal State San Bernardino. And so then I went on with getting the teaching credential as well as the counseling credential, and even got the master's degree. So then time went on, and my husband kept saying to me, you love this so much, you've been going to school half of your life, so you might as well go on, and so get the doctorate. And I said, or, he always called it the big one. So I pursued that, and did get then through Nova Southeastern University. And that's in Florida, but they had cluster groups in Los Angeles. So he said, I'll even drive you, because he was retired. Because I said, I don't want to go all the way to LA. And so then I went to, even the school district sent me to the California Administration Academy. So then I was able to get that credential as well in administration.
Very good. Yeah. How interesting. And to have a supportive husband.
Yes,
That's
that was the
really
real
important.
interesting part. Yes, and he was really good about that.
And a highlight during your teaching or administration career?
Well, one of the highlights that I never expected was to get a Fulbright scholarship program. And I was to teach special ed in Canada, in Alberta. And then something happened that the other family couldn't move to our house. Something happened to the man and the family, and so then I continued to think about DKG because somebody had mentioned it to me, and so then I was invited and started going to get my
Chapter meetings?
and then they gave me a scholarship for the doctoral program, so I pursued that. And so I was, in counseling, special ed, early childhood, all these kinds of programs were my interest. So then, I just decided that I would be part of DKG.
And when you joined DKG, were there any highlights that you remember during those? Well, you're still a DKG member. Any special memories in DKG?
Well, the main memory was, special memory that I had as I look back is getting that scholarship from the organization, as well as now having my daughter and being able to bring her
Michelle.
into the program. And so that to me is
Special.
it's very special. And now I can attend the meetings, and I feel really good to have my teacher daughter in the program.
That's nice.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you. Good evening. We have Grace Kalin here, and she's going to tell us some special things about her life and say good evening.
Good evening, ladies, my sisters. I am so happy to be here, and I am waiting to know what it is that I have to tell you.
Okay. We're going to start with, where did you go to college, Grace?
Well, I had the opportunity to go to San Jose State, and I got my bachelor's there. And I later on, when I was in Hemet, I went to Redlands University and got my master's degree.
Okay. During your career, what were some of the positions that you held?
Well, I was a teacher of the 4th grade to begin with at Hemet Elementary and Ramona Elementary, and then I went to Winchester School. I did teach other grade levels, and then while I was in Winchester School, I also taught summer school for some of the older children who needed to do makeup.
Okay. Do you have a special highlight during your career or awards that you received that you'd like to share?
Yes, I have a whole bunch of them on this
Go
one
ahead.
here, so-
We're ready.
All right. Career highlights, I was a member of HTA, which, as you know, is the Hemet Teachers Association. I did that for both Ramona School, and I did that for Winchester School. And another big one, which is what we're talking about right now, all of us, is being invited to be a member of DKG. That to me was big because I learned a lot from this group, and I'm very happy to have been able to do that. Awards, I'm really happy to have, and I'm honored to have the awards that I was given. From Hemet Teachers Association and California Teachers Association, and also
Did you receive something from NAMI?
Yes, I did. And that was, and I'm glad that you brought that out, that was an award that was a recognition of outstanding dedication and commitment to the mental health community. Brenda Scott, by the way, was the one that decided that we needed to have a group that went into all the schools in Hemet and San Jacinto and throughout Paris and that area, and we got together a group. Brenda was in it, I was in the teaching group, and a parent had to be there and a student, and we did that for a better part of a year, on and on, and we went into the classrooms and gave information to the teachers and how to make sure that the parents of these children that they're talking about are able to stay in school and ways that we can take care of them while they're at school.
Okay. You mentioned that you joined Delta Kappa Gamma. Who invited you? Do you remember?
Yes, I do, and that was Linda. Well, she's had several names. Linda Ayers, and the other one was Nancy. Yes, Nancy Newman. Thank you. So they're the ones that, and I'm really happy to be in Delta Kappa Gamma because I learned so much from my fellow teachers. I can't imagine having just been in one classroom by myself and not having all of the feedback from teachers, other teachers from other schools, other levels, other classes. That really enriched my life, and that helped me along to be a better teacher. So I'm really happy having that opportunity and to continue to have that opportunity. And by the way, I do a lot of online talking with people who have mental health issues. I've continued to do that. When they need me, they can talk and be, listened to, because in many cases they aren't listened to. So I still do that.
Very nice. Grace, thank you for all of the information and for the years that you've been in Delta Kappa Gamma. Very nice. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. I'd like to introduce you to Reggie Maddox, who's been with DKG for 34 years.
Well, something like that. Hi, girls. It's just wonderful to be with all of you and visit with you this evening.
Okay, and I'm going to start with college education. Where did you go to college?
Well, I went to college back in Iowa, where I originally came from. Went to Iowa State Teachers. Now it's known as Northern Iowa University. And then when we came here, we had to, both my husband, Larry Maddox, many of you know him too, went to the University of Riverside to get our teaching degrees. And once we got our California teaching degrees, then we were able to teach here in Hemet. I got my master's at Azusa Pacific with Marty McMillan, and it was quite a class. I think Stacy Bailey did too. There was quite a class of us that got our masters together. We had a great time.
Okay. When you were teaching, were there positions that you enjoyed during your career?
Yes, when I was in Iowa, I taught for 4 years in 2 different little tiny towns, and I taught all of the business ed and all of the home economics in both of those classes, in both of those towns, and that was really fun to do that. And then when we moved to California, you know, the impression we had was we were going to be so rich, I was never ever going to have to teach again. Well, that lasted about 2 months, and so I did a lot of subbing at first, and I really preferred to teach the business ed. And so after my kids got older and were in school, then I went back to teaching full time, but there weren't any business ed positions open, so I started teaching math. And I taught math at the junior high school when it was the 7th, 8th, and 9th grade. And that was a lot of fun, a lot of fun. And I really think that those were some of my favorite years. I liked those kids together. I liked that age group together. I think high school with only the top 3 grades was the best ever. And I think that junior high group, of course times were different, but was so good because there was not a lot of superiority and lording over the upper class, and it was a great time at that junior high. Then we started West Valley after that.
Okay, so your business ed, that was at high school?
Mm-hmm. All of it was in high school.
And then they got defunded?
No, well, yes, later on, but pretty much business ed was still going up as pretty much as long as I was teaching. It began to fade out once we got into West Valley. I taught 1 year in San Jacinto too, all the business ed over there. That was fun. I mean, I love to teach. I love to teach typing and shorthand and all those things, but it has gone by, and it's sad. It's really sad to have lost those home economics and shop and business ed in our curriculums. Kids really need that kind of background. I don't want to get on a soapbox.
Not a tall one.
Yeah, right, I'd fall off.
During your career, do you have any special highlight or memory?
Have a lot of fun memories, especially with Marty McMillan and I. We took a special class kind of at UCR, and then we got to go through that class. We got to go throughout the county and teach other teachers, especially elementary, how to use manipulatives and things like that. And we used to travel together a lot and have a lot of fun and laugh a lot about a lot of memories and things like that. And that was a lot of fun. And anyway, yeah, it was. We enjoyed that.
And how did you come to join Delta Kappa Gamma?
Grace Kalin, who I was teaching with her husband, and I kind of imagined that there was a little push to get secondary teachers into DKG at that time. And so Tom was teaching it with us at the junior high. And so I think that that's how Grace and I met each other. And in those days it was very formal, and we had a tea out at her house on Saturday with our little teacups with our fingers hooked up. And anyway, it was very, very fun. And and so, I'm a joiner, and okay, that sounds fun. And it was, so I joined at that time with Grace. She was a wonderful mentor and teacher. That's where it was.
I'm going to back up a bit. What was the middle schools that you taught at?
Well, it was the Hemet Junior High was the middle
Okay, the
school then.
junior high, okay.
Because at that time, and the high school was just opened, the new high on Stetson.
Okay.
And then, so that when that opened, it opened as a 3-year school, and then they didn't have what they called a middle school. It was just the junior high, which was 7, 8, 9, and then there was the elementary was below that.
Okay.
You have to be around a long time to know.
Because of the changes.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
and then when I taught in Iowa, I just taught in the 4-year high schools.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
and the same thing in San Jacinto. I just taught at the 4-year high school.
Okay. And while you have been in Delta Kappa Gamma, any special memories?
Oh yeah, there was
Lots?
lots of fun. When I joined Delta Kappa Gamma, of course, this chapter was not in here.
So
I was in the Beaumont
At
chapter,
Epsilon.
and then I was one of the charter members that came into this chapter. And then Nancy Newman, who was my neighbor across the street when we first moved to Hemet, and she and oh my gosh, Glenn really helped us a lot and introduced us to a lot of people, and that was really, really cool. In fact, I think that they watched our older daughter the night that Larry had to take me to the hospital to have a second child born, I think. Anyway, but she was the first president, and then I think I followed her. But anyway, back to Delta Kappa Gamma. What did we do? Well, I think some of the most fun things were at convention. Of course, it's fun to be at the chapter, but we had so many good times going to convention. Some of the really highlights, of course, was with Diane Bradshaw and her dancing and the Hawaiian music at the sing-alongs afterwards. It was fabulous. But another one that I really cherish was J.A. Jantz, an author, was speaking one day. And she is from Bisbee, Arizona, which just so happens to be this hometown and where Jim McCullough graduated from. And so I asked her after her speech if she knew him, and she said, well, yes, I was younger than him, but he was such a football star that everybody knew him in school. And the interesting thing, and I just will never forget her talk, because when she started in college, she was not allowed to be in a creative writing class, and she was interested in creative writing, and they would not allow her into that class. So she found a good-looking guy coming out of the class and talked to him and made arrangements to meet him after class every day so they could exchange notes and she could learn what was being. She said, I later married him, and that was the biggest mistake of my life. She was a wonderful speaker, made us laugh and cry. I've read every single one of her books that she's ever written. But I think, when a speaker touches you that long, and I don't know when that was, but that has to be back, oh my goodness, a long, long time ago. And I still just remember her so distinctly. And of course, and then of course dancing and all the girls. And I still run into girls that I met through Delta Kappa Gamma, through Federation of Women's Club conventions that I'm going to. And it's really an interchange when you see the organizations and the people you meet. It's really great.
Thank you so much for sharing all this information.
You're very welcome. It's been lots of fun.
This is Marty McMillan. Marty, say hi to our group.
Hi, Gamma Theta sisters. How are you doing? Hope you're ready for a good laugh. Here goes.
Okay. Where did you go to college, Marty?
I got my bachelor's degree from the University of Wyoming at Laramie. And after I got that, I got 6 units. And then I got to come to California with my bachelor's and 6 units because they were so desperate for teachers during that time. And I got my 5th year then a year or so after that. You had to be working on it. Then I got my master's from Azusa Pacific, and I loved that. We had someone to come do our classes right on campus, right on the junior high campus. And there were 5 of us. Reggie Maddox was one of them that you would know. And we all took our masters at the same time. And talk about fun. That was really fun.
Oh, how nice. That's great. What were your positions in your career?
I taught, when I first came to California, I taught in Pomona for Pomona Unified School District at a junior high. It was a 7-8. I didn't know what I was getting into, and it was called Palomar's Junior High. And I was a classroom teacher there, and then I got a position with ESOL, which is what they called the Emergency School Aid Act. Actually, it was math and science, and for the math, I had, it was fantastic. I had a laboratory of calculators and games and everything you can imagine that you could buy. And then I had a testing room that we tested the levels of the kids. And I had 2 aides, one for each room.
Wow.
And I coordinated back and forth with that one. But it was a secret act from the federal government, because they wanted us to teach kids how to get along with each other. There was a lot of racial unrest at that time in Pomona. So that's what we were really supposed to do with these games and with these testing centers and with all of this stuff. So it was more fun than that, and the kids loved it, and they got along. They just fought when they got off campus, that's all.
Wow.
Then I came to, after 7 years there, I came to Hemet and taught at Hemet Junior High, and then moved on to West Valley High School. Taught every level of math that was available, from basic through AP Calculus.
Wow.
So I had my work cut out for me, but I
Yes.
loved it.
Wow. Great.
And I was right next door to Reggie Maddox. Isn't that great?
Yeah, a friend for life.
Yeah.
Describe a career highlight, awards, or favorite memory.
Well, I have 3 really nice awards I've been blessed with. And one is, of course, the Outstanding Member of Gamma Theta. And that was terrific, and it was a wonderful day. And I just wish every member could have that attaboy, attagirl stuff. I had 2 annuals dedicated to me, one at Pomona and one at West Valley High School. And the one at West Valley High School was shared by Donna Parker, who is now a member over at Eta Epsilon. So some of you Gamma Thetas have met her, and you'll see more of her because she's not shy. And let's see. Oh, I was Teacher of the Year at Hemet Junior High. That was really something. That was great.
That is great. Why did you join DKG?
Well, like I said, Reggie was right next door to me, and she worked well getting me to be a member, and I did. And the real reason I wanted to do that was that I wanted to network with a lot of the elementary teachers, because I didn't know what was going on in the elementary areas, and I just wanted to know so I could help my own classroom. Maybe I could understand the kids better. So I really enjoyed that, and Reggie led the way. She got me involved. And that's one thing, if you bring in a new member, try to keep them involved in something, and Reggie sure did. Before I knew it, I was first vice president of membership, and that's what we called it at that time. And then I got to be the treasurer, and then president, and then treasurer again, and then all of a sudden now I'm in the finance committee. And it's just get involved, because that's where the fun is, to really get on the board and enjoy building the organization. And that it's really great. I encourage all of these members. I think you should think very seriously about becoming a board member.
Right. Share a favorite DKG memory.
Well, Reggie, being my backbone, gave me a lot. She encouraged me to go to Founders Day. She encouraged me to go to Kai State. They don't call it that anymore. Get involved with the finances. But the most important one, and it's probably going to be a little hard to talk about it, but it was Marion Schelleberger was a terrific member, and she was diagnosed with cancer. Just about 2 days before she passed away, she gave me a call on the telephone, and she sounded really good. And we talked, just laughed and had a good time, and then she finally told me why she was calling. And what she was calling was about the Books for Moms, which is now Books for Teen Parents. And that was her mission with Gamma Theta. She really enjoyed being on that committee and picking out the books for the moms to read to their babies and young kids and now fathers. And it was her thing. And she wanted me to be sure and give her my promise that I would, at the finance committee level, be sure that that was always in the budget. That the books for her, Books for Moms, the way she said it, would last. And that's something that she wanted so badly. And I did promise her, and I do watch out for it.
Well, thank you, Marty, for all that you do for DKG, especially for Gamma Theta. We love you.
It's a great organization, and I'm very blessed to be a member. Thank you.